This ought to get the Clampetts interested in deep-sea fishing, don't you agree?
Chief, it is a master stroke of psychological strategy.
Thanks. Grab the tail.
It cleverly takes cognizance of their innate love of the sport of hunting, which has been drastically curtailed by Ellie Mae's love of the very creatures they hunt.
Yeah, grab the tail.
Provides these active, rugged mountaineers with all the thrills and excitement of the chase they so thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, grab the tail.
And until they become devotees, it will prevent their leaving Beverly Hills and returning to their home. For, by its very nature, big game fishing is impossible in their landlocked, mountainous terrain. I repeat, Chief, it is a master stroke of psychological strategy.
All this because I said 3 lousy words. Don't you agree? And I'm going to say 3 more. Grab the tail!
Me and old Duke here is plumb tuckered out. We walked clean over to the golf pasture looking for some game.
What'd you get?
We got mean mouthed and stick chased out of there.
You mean you come home with nothing, empty-handed again?
Well, we did manage to find a few of them golf eggs.
Throw them out, Jed. They just can't be cooked. I boiled them and porched them and fried them. And they still come out gummy as an old boot. Doggone it, I wanted some fresh game meat.
Well, looks like Queen, Granny. Folks don't want me shooting a gun, and when I snare the game, Ellie makes a pet out of it.
Uncle Jed, Granny! Come see what Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane brought us. A great big old fish about this long.
Fish that size must be a channel cat.
Yeah, some catfish rolled in cornmeal, deep fried. Ought to taste pretty good right now, huh?
Sure.
Come on, let's go.
Remember, not a word to my wife about giving this trophy to the Clampetts.
Right, Chief.
That fishing trip to the Gulf of Mexico cost us about $4,000. And this is all we have to show for it.
I understand.
Plus, Mitch, it took her 6 hours. That is a big fish.
No catfish.
Looks like a carp.
No, this is a tarpon. That's a saltwater fish.
Oh, you cook them in salt water, do you?
No, it lives in salt water. The tarpon is a noted deep-sea game fish.
And I want you to have it for your game room.
Our what room?
Game room. That's the one with the trophies on the wall. The billiard room.
Oh, you mean the fancy eating room.
Yes, as you so quaintly call it.
What do I have to do to them?
Nothing. It's been prepared by an expert taxidermist.
Feels nice and crisp.
I'd sure like to see the skillet he was fried in.
Me too. Appears like the grease got too hot and he curled up a mite.
Oh,
No, he's not fried.
baked?
No.
Don't smell like he's been smoked.
Tarpon are rarely cooked at all. Once caught, they're usually preserved, like this one.
Oh, preserved.
Like pickled?
Well, yes, in a way. It's quite a process. They're cleaned, scraped, treated with chemicals, even the bones are removed. Then, a form is made and the skin
Miss
is...
Hathaway.
Sorry, Chief.
Mr. Clampett, I'm sure you'd enjoy catching a fish like this.
I would for a fact. Now, there's a critter even Ellie wouldn't make a pet out of.
Then it's all settled. Now I'm going out and get you the finest deep-sea fishing equipment that money can buy.
Oh, no need to do that, Mr. Drysdale. I can cut myself a pole and make a hook out of a bent nail.
No, catching big game fish like tarpon and marlin requires very special equipment.
It does indeed, Mr. Clampett. The black marlin, for example, which is a native of our own Pacific waters.
Jethro, fetch this fish out to the kitchen. I gotta figure out how to cook him.
But, Granny, Miss Jane said you didn't have to do nothing more to it. She said that it was all...
I heard what she said, but I say that this fish ain't got a fresh-caught look to it. And nobody's chomping on him till I've cooked him.
Yes, ma'am, Granny. She's right. It could use some tendering up.
You're gonna commence a tendering up, you wall-eyed, ocean-going varmint.
You cooking that fish?
I ain't giving him a bath.
Gene said he already been prepared by experts, something or other.
Taxi driver.
Sound like it.
He better stick to driving taxis. He don't know shucks about fish. I've been boiling this rascal for 2 hours, and he's still tough as harness leather.
You know what it could be, Granny?
What?
Swimming around in the salt water all them years is what toughened him up. You know what brine will do to any kind of hide.
I know what it's done to his hide. Why, I've dulled 3 knives trying to cut him up. Finally had Jethro fetch him out here and throw him into my big kettle whole.
And cooking him 2 hours ain't softening him up none?
Not one smidgen. And I've had both ends in the water.
Granny, we's hungry. Ain't that fish ready yet?
That fish ain't never gonna be ready.
Well, let's go catch one of our own.
Yeah, with this fish winding machine.
It'll be a freshwater fish if I cook it. I'd as leave try to stew an alligator as that thing.
Come on, Jethro, let's dig some worms.
Now, hold on. I reckon it'd hurt Mr. Drysdale's feelings considerable if he was to find out we didn't eat his fish.
But, Uncle Jed, I pretty near broke a tooth on that thing.
And if Jethro can't bite through it, nobody can.
How about resting my cat? He's had his hours ever since Jethro fetched it out here.
Yeah, let's give it to him.
That's a heap of fish for one cat.
Don't worry about that, Granny. Appears like Rusty is rounding him up some friends to help.
All I can say to you is, loads of luck.
Well, didn't you cut poles for Pa and Granny?
Granny's going to use the new store-bought pole from Mr. Drysdale, and Uncle Jed's going to try out his new fishing machine.
You dig a nice bucket of worms, Ellie?
Yes, sir, Pa. They's on the truck. What's that thing you're wearing?
Well, this here is a fishing machine harness for holding this here fishing machine.
I still say that's a mighty short pole.
I reckon it's meant for fishing over the side of a boat, man.
Ain't gonna get me on no boat.
Ain't figuring to. They work just well off a bridge. You know any good fishing bridges, Jethro?
Only bridge I know goes over the Los Angeles River.
Ain't nothing like a river for catfish. Let's get going.
Wasn't much water in it last time we was there.
Maybe the beavers had it dammed up.
If May's still there, can I bring home a beaver?
No more critters.
Quiet down, Granny. We ain't bringing home nothing but fish. Let her roll, Jethro. Come on, Jethro. You're wasting time. There ain't no fish in there.
That is the poorest excuse of a river I ever did see.
Pitiful, just pitiful.
Los Angeles is so ashamed of that river they had to put up cement walls to hide it.
Maybe it'll be better when the spring thaw sets in. Come on, let's go find us a creek or a pond.
Hey, wait a minute. I got a bite.
My doggies, he has a dad. It's nothing but a boot.
I know it. I want to fish for the other one. They're better than the ones I'm wearing.
You youngins wait here. Granny and me is going in and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah, I have a few things to say that you might oughtn't to hear. Him and his Beverly Hills fishing.
Now, simmer down, Granny. We'll get it straightened out. Keep an eye on the poles and stuff.
Guess what, Chief?
What?
You're taking the Sea Witch tomorrow.
I am not. You know she doesn't get along with families.
The Sea Witch is the boat you chartered.
Well, don't scare me like that.
By doggies, we come here to complain about having no place to fish. You ought to see where poor Mr. Drysdale is trying his luck.
Hey, Mr. Clampett, come in, come in.
Mr. Drysdale, you catching anything out of there?
Well, I wasn't really trying to catch anything.
We was trying.
What did you get?
One old boot and it don't fit.
I thought the hunting around here was poor, but the fishing is really miserable.
We found a pond with some fish in it up the street yonder. The one with the spring and the bubbles coming out in the middle.
Oh, that's a municipal fountain, and those are goldfish.
I hope you didn't try to catch any of those.
Oh, yeah, we caught a lot of them, but we threw them all back. The biggest one was no better than that.
Mr. Clampett, Granny, tomorrow you will have the fishing experience of your lives. I have chartered a boat.
I ain't setting foot on no boat.
Granny, you'll be perfectly safe. It's quite large, and there's an expert crew aboard.
I ain't getting on no boat.
But you love it, Granny. Wait till you experience the thrill of hooking a giant barracuda.
I ain't going.
Bonita, albacore,
I ain't going.
yellowtail.
You can call me coward all you want. I ain't going.
Please, Mr. Clappett, bring her back. I want to explain.
I'll bring her back, but you're gonna have a job getting her on the boat. Granny's right fond of fishing, but she likes to do her rocking on dry land.
Doggone it. Deep-sea game fishing is made to order for that scrappy little woman. One look at a 500-pound sea bass, and she'll never fish in fresh water again.
Chief, I've got an idea. An inspiration. It combines all the elements
Oh,
of...
wait a minute. Can you tell me in 5,000 words or less?
I can tell you in one word, Marineland.
Marineland,
Yes, there, with her feet firmly planted on dry land. Granny can gaze through glass windows into a huge tank and observe at arm's length specimens of sea life by the thousands, from the largest mammals to the tiniest crustaceans.
Now, Granny, it won't hurt you none to listen to Mr. Drysdale.
He ain't getting me out on no water.
But, Granny, I know how fond you are of fish.
I'm fond of ducks, too. But I ain't going up in the sky after them.
Sit down.
Well, youngest, we're going fishing after all.
Mr. Drysdale told us about a fishing hole that's got 'em all beat.
He's gonna take us out there first thing in the morning.
It's a gymnastic.
You can look through a glass window and pick out the kind of fish you like.
Some of 'em as big as this truck.
Let's go right now.
Yeah.
I'm all for that, Jed.
Well, I reckon it would spare Mr. Drysdale a heap of trouble.
Yeah, where is it, Pa?
Down near the ocean, a place called Marineland.
Do you reckon the Marines would let us fish there?
Well, he didn't say nothing about that.
Well, they hadn't better try to stop me. I'm catching one of them whoppers for supper tonight.
The Marines is real tough fighters, Granny, and they tote guns.
Well, let's stop by home and get our guns.
Hold on, Granny. We ain't taking on the whole United States Marines.
And he called me a yellowtail.
Fight him, Granny.
Ain't nobody gonna fight nobody. We'll ask them Marines nice and polite, can we fish in a fishing hole?
What if they say no?
We'll jump that quick when we come to it. Drive on, Jethro. Excuse me there, young feller. Are you a Marine?
No, sir, Air Force. But there's a Marine. Oh, Sergeant.
Yes, Lieutenant.
These people seem to be looking for a Marine.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, we heard stories about all the big fish there is in there, and we sure would like to try our luck.
Be my guest.
Well, thank you.
Oh, it's a great spot. You'll love it.
Big fish, huh?
I'll say, if you like real big fish, be sure to catch the whale.
We'll do our best.
Sure is nice of the Marines to let us use their fishing holes.
Yeah. Hey, this looks like a good one. Pull up here, Jethro.
They must be them whales that Marine told us to catch.
I've got to admit, them's big fish.
I don't think we got a pool big enough to pull one of them rascals in.
According to the sign on the fishing hole, then there's porpoises.
I want me a whale. Drive on. What's these critters?
Well, let's see what else we can find.
I want me a whale.
I like them, especially that baby one. This here's the biggest one yet.
It's a dandy.
Is this where the whales are supposed to be?
That's what the sign says.
I don't see no fish.
Maybe you gotta drop a line in, get a bite.
Put a hook on my line, Jethro.
Listen, Granny.
Harry May, I'm gonna catch me the biggest whale they is in there. Fish me out a nice big fat worm.
if I was you.
Think a grasshopper would make better bait?
Unless you can find one the size of a hog.
Grasshopper don't come that big.
And you better use a hog. Look out yonder. Here he comes again.
And we thought them porpoises was big.
Nobody move. That fish is mine.
What are you going to catch him with, Granny?
Big Jethro.
You ain't gonna put me on no hook.
No. You go out there on that board and make a noise like a grasshopper.
You mean rub my legs together?
I don't care how you do it, but do it. Then when he jumps out of the water to grab you, you grab him first. How? Throw your arms around him. Grab him out of there and swing him on the bank.
Granny, I reckon you're getting a little carried away. Now, I'd be proud as you to take that big rascal home, but instead of gaining the fish, we might be losing the boy.
If the Marines can catch him that big, so can we. Come on, Jethro. Go on, Jethro, go on.
All right, but you come with me.
What's the matter, Jethro? You scared of a fish?
Well, that one I am. Here's a whole bucket of fish. Why don't we take these home? Then we don't have to bother that big ugly rascal.
Give him one. He'll think we're friendly. Catch him off guard. Go on, Jethro, go on.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean you're ugly.
That's right, Jethro. That's right in.
That's it. Looking down his throat is like looking through a cellar door.
All right, Granny, that's enough. Come on, Jethro, get off of here.
You bring the fish, Uncle Jed.
Here's one for you, young fella. I think this whale wants them all.
Baby walrus. He's cute, Paul. Will I take him home?
Hadn't better, Ellie. He'd remind Granny too much of Leif Crick. Ain't that right, Granny? Where'd you go, Granny? Go!
Get back to the whale tank.
You better head for home.
I'll be back, you overgrown big-mouth varmint. And this time I'll get you. You're mine. You're mine. I can't stand it. Turn around and go back.
We're going home, Granny. Now quieten down.
Can't catch a whale, Granny.
It's too much fish for a little woman like you.
Now, this don't mean it's too much for me. I'll see him in my skillet or it's the last thing I ever do.
Just getting close to him, Will, will be the last thing you ever do. Now settle down.
I know what I'll do. I'll roll him in cornmeal. That's what I'll do. Deep fry him. Get that rascal yet?
Where you going, Gran?
None of your business.
Who sent her off?
Poor Granny.
Yeah, the sad part of it is, when she goes telling folks about the one that got away, ain't nobody gonna believe her.
Hey, Jed, look what I found on the truck. A baby seal.
I'm sure that's you put him down.
Ellie Mae Clampett, did you carry on that
Sure, he followed me.
Followed you?
Yeah, you just put him down and I'll show you.
Ellie Mae? followed you to the truck, but he didn't get up by himself.
No, sir. I helped him a little.
Help him again, because we're taking him back.
Come on, Whiskers.
Hey, Granny, we's going back to Maureen Lane.
There's no way in the world that little woman can catch that big...
Let's go! I'm ready for that big rascal this time.